I'm Mason, 29, and I need to get this off my chest because the last 24 hours have been absolutely illuminating. 7 months ago, I proposed to my girlfriend Natalie after 4 years together. We'd been living together for 2 years, talked constantly about marriage and kids, and she'd even pointed out the exact ring style she wanted. I saved for 6 months, planned this romantic evening at the botanical gardens where we'd had our first date, waited until sunset by the fountain, and got down on one knee with that classic solitaire she dreamed about. She said no. Not, I need time to think, or let's talk about this. Just no. Said she wasn't ready, felt like we were moving too fast after 4 years, needed to find herself and explore what's out there. I'm standing there with a ring like an idiot while families are watching, trying to process how 4 years suddenly became too fast. The drive home was silent. She moved out 3 days later to stay with her friend Melissa, and we were done, just like that. That same night, she posts on social media. Know your worth, queens. Never settle for less than you deserve. Level up. Boss babe. Know your value. The comments were exactly what you'd expect. Her friends hyping her up like she just escaped from prison instead of rejecting someone who loved her. I sat there at 2 a.m., scrolling through this, thinking about how I'd supported her through her career change, helped her pay off $34,000 in student loans, was there every day when her dad was in the hospital for 3 months, but apparently I was something to settle for. So I liked the post and commented. Kings too. The silence after that was deafening. She deleted my comment within an hour, but not before our 137 mutual friends saw it. Here's what Natalie didn't know about me. What she never bothered to learn in 4 years of being together. While she saw me as just another accountant making decent money, I'd actually built myself into something much more substantial. See, I'm not just an accountant. I'm a CPA with a specialization in forensic accounting and business valuation. My actual income wasn't the $75,000 she thought it was from my day job. Between my consulting practice, real estate investments, and the small accounting firm I'd been quietly building on the side, I was pulling in close to $300,000 annually. But I never flaunted it. I drove a paid-off Honda Accord instead of the BMW I could afford. We lived in a modest apartment when I owned 3 rental properties generating $8,500 monthly in passive income. Why? Because I wanted someone who loved me for me, not my portfolio. I'd watched too many colleagues get taken for rides by partners who saw dollar signs instead of a person. So I kept it simple, lived below my means, and thought I'd found someone who appreciated that. The irony is, while Natalie was posting about knowing your worth, she had no idea what mine actually was. Not just financially, but professionally. I had connections she couldn't imagine. Lawyers, investment advisors, business owners who respected my work and trusted my judgment. My mentor, Richard Blackstone, was a founding partner at one of the city's top accounting firms. My client list included 3 tech startups that had successfully exited, and I'd been instrumental in their valuations. But to Natalie, I was just Mason the accountant, reliable, but apparently not exciting enough. After she left, I went into strategic mode, not emotional breakdown mode, strategic mode. First call was to Richard. She did you a favor, he said, after I told him everything. You know what I always say about assets and liabilities. He was right. In accounting terms, Natalie had just reclassified herself from a long-term asset to a disposed liability. Clean break, no ongoing obligations. Second call was to my lawyer, James Huang, who'd helped me structure my real estate holdings. You want me to review your assets, make sure everything's protected? He asked. Already done, I told him. Everything's in the LLC or the trust. She never knew about any of it, never contributed to it, has no claim to it. He laughed. You always were 3 steps ahead. 2 months into my new single life, something interesting happened. My coworker Jenna from the audit department asked if I wanted to grab coffee after we'd survived a brutal 3-week audit of a manufacturing client. She knew about the breakup. Office gossip travels fast, but she wasn't trying to be my rebound. Just the thought you could use a friend who understands debits and credits, she said with a smile. Here's what I noticed about Jenna that I'd somehow missed in the 2 years she'd worked there. She was brilliant. Not just smart, but strategically brilliant. During that audit, she'd found $2.3 million in overlooked tax credits that the client had missed for 3 years. She had restructured their entire accounting system, saving them another $400,000 annually. And she did it all without fanfare, without posting about being a boss babe on social media. She just quietly excelled. Coffee turned into dinners where we'd discuss forensic accounting techniques and laugh about the worst audit findings we'd seen. She told me about her side project, a financial literacy program she was developing for high school students. I told her about my real estate investments, and she immediately spotted 3 tax advantages I'd missed. We weren't trying to impress each other. We were just 2 nerds who got excited about spreadsheets and strategic planning. 3 months in, she saw my actual financial statements. I hadn't meant to show her, but I'd left my laptop open while reviewing my quarterly investment report. $8,500 in monthly passive income, she said, looking at the screen. Why do you live in that tiny apartment? I explained my philosophy about keeping things simple, about wanting someone who'd love me without the money. She looked at me for a long moment and said, "You know, that's exactly why I was interested in you, right? You could have been flashy, but you chose substance. That's rare." Fast forward to last week. We were hiking our favorite trail, talking about a complex international tax case, when she stopped suddenly. "I know what I want," she said. "I've known for months. You're it. You're my person. The one who gets excited about the same nerdy things, who thinks strategically about everything, who chooses substance over show. So, what do you say? Want to merge our portfolios permanently?" She actually proposed to me with accounting humor. I said yes immediately. We posted a simple announcement, just a photo of us hiking with Adventure Partners for Life, as the caption. My phone exploded with congratulations from colleagues, clients, family. Richard Blackstone himself commented, "About time, Jenna's a keeper." The managing partner of my firm called to congratulate me personally. Then, at 11:43 p.m., Natalie called. "Are you serious right now?" Her voice was shaking. 6 months, Mason. 6 months and you're engaged? To your coworker, the mousy one from accounting? "Her name is Jenna," I said calmly. "And she's not mousy. She just doesn't need to announce every accomplishment on social media." "This is insane. We were together for 4 years. How could you just move on?" "The same way you did when you rejected my proposal and called it settling." Silence. Then she dropped the bomb that explained everything. "I didn't think you'd actually move on. I thought you'd wait." Wait for what? Through tears and frustration, she revealed her master plan. Melissa had been telling her about all these guys she was meeting, investment bankers, lawyers, entrepreneurs. She'd convinced Natalie she was too young to settle down with her first serious boyfriend without seeing what else was out there. The plan was for Natalie to date around for a year, experience more, then come back to me knowing I was the right choice. "So I was a safety net," I said, actually laughing at the absurdity. "No, I just wanted to be sure. I thought if I dated around, then we could get back together, and I'd know you were the one." By publicly rejecting and humiliating me? "I didn't think you'd see the post. We have mutual friends." 137 mutual friends, Natalie. She got defensive then, talking about the pressure women face, about articles Melissa had shown her about women who married their first serious boyfriend and always wondered, what if? But then she admitted the truth. Her leveling up journey hadn't gone as planned. The investment banker only wanted hookups. The lawyer ghosted her after 2 dates when she wouldn't sleep with him. The entrepreneur was actually unemployed, living with his parents, just had a good Instagram game. "I realized pretty quickly that what we had was special," she said. "I was going to reach out at the 1-year mark, make it seem like I'd grown and was ready." "So your plan was to manipulate me into proposing again based on a lie?" "It wasn't a lie. I did grow. I learned what I wanted." "Yeah, you learned you wanted your backup plan. Sorry, but this safety net found someone who chose me first." She lost it then, screaming about how Jenna was a downgrade, a rebound, how I was rushing into things to hurt her, how our mutual friends thought it was suspicious how fast I moved on. "Natalie," I said, staying calm, "you ended our relationship. You made it clear I wasn't enough. I respected that and moved on. I found someone who thinks I'm her first choice, not her safe option after testing the market." "You're making a huge mistake. She doesn't even know you like I do." "You're right. She doesn't know the me who dimmed his light to make someone else comfortable. She knows the version who shows up fully. I like him better. Then she hit me with, when you realize what you've lost and come crawling back, I won't be waiting. Good, because I won't be crawling anywhere. Goodbye, Natalie. 3 days later, the real campaign began. First, Melissa DM'd Jenna on Instagram with this masterpiece of manipulation. Hey girl, just wanted to reach out woman to woman. I'm friends with Mason's ex and thought you should know some things about your fiancé. He's clearly using you as a rebound. He was obsessed with Natalie, proposed after hounding her for months. When she said she needed time to think, he basically stalked her social media. Now he's love-bombing you to make her jealous. You seem sweet and deserve better than being someone's revenge relationship. Jenna showed me immediately. We laughed about it, then she responded. Thanks for the concern, though I'm curious why you're more invested in my relationship than your friend's dating life. How'd those setups work out for her? Also, I handle complex financial audits for a living. I'm pretty good at spotting when numbers don't add up. This story, the math isn't mathing. Melissa blocked her immediately, but they weren't done. The flying monkeys came next. Mutual friends suddenly needing to check in on me. Brad, who I hadn't talked to in months. Hey bro, heard about the engagement? Quick turnaround, huh? You sure you're not rushing? My college roommate, Derek. Dude, Natalie's really torn up. Maybe you guys should talk. Even my cousin. Natalie reached out to me. She's worried about you making impulsive decisions. I posted one response on social media. Funny how people who didn't check on you during your healing suddenly care about your happiness. 20 minutes later, Natalie called from a different number. Mason, we need to talk about this maturely. We really don't. You're clearly hurt and acting out. I'm getting married to someone who chose me first. If that's acting out, I should have done it sooner. She tried every angle, reminding me of times she was there for me, claiming I wasn't being myself, saying I was throwing away 4 years. But when she said, "Were you not happy with us?" I finally gave her the truth. I was happy enough, but enough isn't enough anymore. So you're throwing away 4 years for someone you've known for a few months. No, I'm choosing to build something new with someone who chose me first, not as a fallback, not as a safe option. First. The real revelation came yesterday. Jenna's best friend Rachel sent her screenshots from a dating app. Natalie had a profile created 5 months ago, 2 months before she rejected my proposal. The bio read, entrepreneur mindset, looking for someone ambitious who can match my energy, no time for mediocrity. The messages were enlightening. She was telling matches she was recently single while we were ring shopping. She described her ex, me, as sweet but lacking ambition, said she needed a man who can provide the lifestyle I deserve, that she was too young to settle for comfortable. When asked what ended her last relationship, she wrote, I outgrew him. He was content with mediocrity. I need excellence. Mediocrity. 4 years of building something together. The man who helped pay off her student loans, who was secretly worth more than all her ambitious matches combined. Mediocrity. But here's the kicker. She'd been active on the app 3 days ago, after our phone call, after crying about making a mistake. She'd updated her photos and bio. Phoenix rising from the ashes. Know your worth and add tax. Then, as if the universe wanted to drive the point home, she texted from another new number. Mason, I've been doing a lot of thinking. I'm willing to forgive you for moving on so quickly if we can start fresh. I see now that you needed to feel wanted, and I accept my part in that. We can work through this. She was willing to forgive me. I screenshot that text and finally posted on social media. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Grateful for the lessons and even more grateful for the future. Also, pro tip. If you're going to play games, make sure you're not leaving receipts on dating apps. I tagged Jenna. Thanks for choosing me first. Always. My phone exploded. Our mutual friends who'd been getting Natalie's version finally saw the truth. Derek called. Bro, I'm sorry. She made it sound like you went crazy after the rejection. I had no idea she was on dating apps while you were together. But Natalie's response showed her true colors. She created a whole Instagram story series about manipulation and gaslighting, how I was weaponizing vulnerability and turning people against her. The woman who was secretly dating while we were together was calling me manipulative. Then Melissa, seeing the tide turn, decided to save herself. She leaked everything to their friend group. Turns out Natalie hadn't just created the profile 2 months before rejecting me. She'd been actively dating for 5 months before the proposal, and there was a spreadsheet. I'm not kidding. She and Melissa had a spreadsheet ranking guys by income, job, looks, and husband potential. I was on there too, ranked number 4 in stability, but number 11 in lifestyle potential out of 15. The guy ranked number 1, a venture capitalist who turned out to be a crypto bro who lost everything in some memecoin crash. She'd been planning to monkey branch to him, but when his empire collapsed 2 weeks before I proposed, suddenly I looked better. She rejected my proposal not to find herself, but because she thought she could do better than number 11. The group chat exploded when Melissa shared all of this. People were furious, not just about the cheating, but about the manipulation, how she'd made everyone pick sides based on lies. Natalie tried damage control, posting about fake friends and betrayal, then played the ultimate victim card. As a woman, I'm not allowed to have standards without being crucified. Standards. That's what she called it. She started losing followers by the hour. The guys she'd been talking to while we were together started sharing their own screenshots. One included her saying she was waiting for her boyfriend to propose so she could see the ring before deciding. She was going to judge whether to say yes based on the ring, not our relationship. Then came the final attempt. She showed up at my apartment building yesterday. I'd already given security her photo. Strategic thinking, always. They called me. There's a Natalie here demanding to see you, says it's an emergency. Is she injured or in immediate danger? No, sir. Then it's not an emergency. Please ask her to leave. If she refuses, call the police. She left, but not before causing a scene that multiple residents filmed. One video made it to TikTok. Entitled X Causes Scene at Apartment Building because her backup plan got engaged. It went mini viral. 800,000 views last I checked. This morning, I got a final text from yet another number. Congrats, Mason. You won. You destroyed my reputation and turned everyone against me. Hope you're happy with your downgrade. When she cheats on you, and she will, remember that you had someone who loved you enough to want to be sure. But your ego couldn't handle it. Enjoy your mediocre life with your mediocre wife. You two deserve each other. I didn't respond. Just forwarded it to James, who's been documenting everything in case I need a restraining order. Then I got an email from a lawyer about defamation and emotional distress. She's demanding I take down my posts and pay her $15,000 for damages to her reputation. James sent back a simple response. All statements are factual and documented. Please cease contact with my client. Any further harassment will result in appropriate legal action. Radio silence since then. But here's the thing. I am happy, genuinely boringly happy. Jenna and I cook dinner together and laugh at dumb TV shows. She leaves me notes in my lunch. I surprise her with flowers just because it's Tuesday. We're planning a small wedding because neither of us needs to prove anything to anyone. She saw me at my lowest and chose me anyway. I saw her at her most genuine and chose her back. No games, no spreadsheets, no backup plans. Last I heard, Natalie moved back to her hometown and deleted most of her social media. The Know Your Worth Queens post is still up though. My comment is gone, but the internet remembers everything. Someone made it into a meme template. Know Your Worth Queens, followed by screenshots of her dating profile while in a relationship. It's brutal, but I didn't make it or share it. Funny thing about worth. It's not about what you think you deserve. It's about what value you bring. Natalie thought she deserved a venture capitalist lifestyle while bringing spreadsheets and manipulation to the table. She thought my $300,000 annual income and real estate portfolio made me number 11 in lifestyle potential because I chose to drive a Honda and live modestly. She never understood that real wealth isn't about showing off. It's about security, strategy, and choosing someone who values you for more than your portfolio. Jenna gets it. When I showed her my full financial picture, the rental properties, the consulting income, the investment accounts, she said, "This is impressive, But what I love is that you never led with this. You led with who you are. That's the difference between someone who sees your worth and someone who's calculating it. To anyone reading this in a similar situation, when someone shows you through their actions that you're an option, not a priority, believe them. Don't wait for them to figure out your value. Find someone who knows it from day one. And remember, whether you're a queen or a king, know your worth. But more importantly, be worth knowing. Living well really is the best revenge. That, and having a fiancé who's not only brilliant, but finds the whole situation as absurdly funny as I do. We're actually considering having our wedding on the anniversary of the day Natalie rejected my proposal. Not out of spite, but because it's the day my life took a turn towards something infinitely better. Sometimes rejection is just redirection toward what you actually deserve.